Hello and welcome back to RageGamingVideos. My name is Olo and today I have a little bit of a PSA about the weapon I'm holding. This is the Serpent-Hunter, the weapon that you use in the Rykard fight as sort of their big boss gimmick weapon, where they give you a super powerful weapon that only works in its super powerful way in that one specific fight. And it's really cool. This is not the first time they've done this. You got the Yom the Giant situation, or maybe say the Storm King. But now in Elden Ring, either way, we have the Serpent-Hunter, and yeah, we've got a cool weapon here. Design-wise, I like it a lot. It's a spear, but it's a great spear, so it gets some serious, unique benefits that other spears simply don't get, and I do think this might be, I'd argue it is, the best spear moveset in the game. But also, statistically, just using this thing is really good. Look at it. It's an A scaling strength weapon, and it has 12 weight, which is comparable to, say, a greatsword. And recently, there's been a speedrunning event where a bunch of speedrunners are trying to get the best possible time for an all-remembrance run, except what they're doing is they're doing it at soul level 1. The real level is 1. The weapon of choice has been Serpent-Hunter. And I mean, if you think about it, look at it. It literally requires nothing. And I guess that's vital for the boss fight because it's kind of necessary for the Rykard fight, right? It doesn't require any strength, any intelligence, any arcane, or faith, or dex to use this. So at level 1, you can immediately go get this thing, and it is an incredibly powerful weapon. Even base stats. That largely comes from the heavy attack combo that it can do, which comes out fairly quick and has great range because this is a spear. It does stupid damage, and you can easily enhance that further. Using the Axe Talisman to increase your charge attacks, and then things like the Spike Crack for your Wondrous Physic, which will boost your charge attack power as well, leading to comparable damage to the really powerful Ash of War, but yeah, there's less wind up. Speaking of that Ash of War though, it actually got buffed as well, which is what made me kind of originally think about this weapon. In the 1.04 patch, they decreased its recovery time so you're stuck in the animation less, and increased its damage, which is wild because it was a really heavy hitter anyway. And then they also made it so you can withstand attacks from enemies much better. They gave it hyper armor. So this really slow attack, this double attack with the uppercut at the end, does a load of damage, a boatload of damage, and you get hyper armor on it. So, if you could land this in PvP, you are going to absolutely demolish someone. But yeah, it's so slow that that's unlikely, right? No, the thing is you have hyper armor, and you can catch people out with this. I actually hit it in my little test today to see if I could do it. The slow nature of this Ash of War can be the reason you catch someone. During trading, you pull this out, they roll it and panic, and then they roll again and panic, and then you actually roll catch them with it, which is how you can do some serious damage with it. And again, you've got the hyper armor, so if you choose to literally trade into this, maybe you sacrifice some health, but if you do land the blow, it may well be worth it. Let me show you that moveset though, and why I think it's the best spear moveset in the game. So spears are incredible for their range and their roll catch potential. They have really quick, light attack combos that come out fast, but then also, yeah, you've got that really good range. So if I just show you a clip of me in PvP going, all right, so there's this guy and he thinks he can trade with me. This is a long range, heavy hitting, fast striking or piercing weapon rather. So all I do is just spam light attacks and the guy just panics. He just tries to trade with me and he can't. I have better range, so he has to walk in closer. I start the attack before he can actually reach me, and then I just spam R1. I light attack him down to death. And I guess he just didn't understand that he can't trade like that with this weapon. Now, most spears, when you do the jumping R2, do this really annoying piercing plunge, which sure does good damage, but it's really single target, barely any AoE, bad range to it. This doesn't have that. Even though it's a spear, it has the usual sort of colossal plunge attack, which is great in all content, PvE or PvP. It is a spear though, so it has one of the best roll catching running attacks in the game. You have the running R1, which is a nice quick one, but then you have the best one in the game, which is the sprinting heavy, which does a charge and then a hit. What's fascinating about this is that there's actually a hit on the charge. So this like lance charge, and then the strike at the end is another big hit. So what happens in PvP is you do this and you catch people out. You get the little charge tick, which can interrupt them, interrupting what they're doing, or just do a bit of damage, chip damage during a roll catch, or you have the final strike, the final pierce, and that does the main hit. So they either avoid the quick like chip or they avoid the big hit. Obviously you want to hit the big hit, but the chip is still really important because it interrupts and does damage on a roll. Then lastly, the absolutely ridiculous attack of the colossal swords, the crouch poke. Somehow this weapon also has it. So you can absolutely spam this attack out in PvE or PvP, interrupting an enemy, getting lots of DPS, or just catching someone out during a roll or a trade. It's fascinating. It's a great spear, right? It has this like weird mix of a spear and colossal sword moveset, leading to one of the best movesets I have seen in the game. So when it comes to PvP, you have great range because it's a spear, you have respectable damage because it's got a scaling strength, and then we can also buff it up. It's a really reliable trader because of this moveset. Your attacks come out so quick and the range of them so good. It has one of the best roll catches in the game with a running heavy. And then, yeah, the Ash of War, it does a lot of damage. It's got hyper armor. It's very slow and risky to do, but if you do get it off, you are just going to kill someone with it. Then in PvE, it's just, yeah, it's reliable because you are in control of the fight. There are so many downtime moments in a boss fight where you can maybe go for that slow Ash of War, or more likely, just spam out the heavy because it does so much damage, especially when we buff it up in the ways we said. It's one of the most reliable, quick, heavy attack combos I've seen. Anyway, with 66 strength and two-handing it, we are at 723 AR on a greatsword style weapon. That is fine, but we can obviously make that a lot better. With Flame Grant Me Strength and Golden Vow, we can make that skyrocket up to the just under 1000 margin. Again, it's a quick, good ranged weapon. That's very good. But with those buffs combined with the Axe Talisman and of course the Wondrous Physic that's enhancing my heavy attack combo, that's where I'm getting that stupid damage in the boss fights. So that's my quick PSA on the Serpent-Hunter. I was seriously shocked and blown away by how effective this weapon is. Low weight, great range, fast and incredible moveset, and stupid damage on that heavy attack combo. If you're not sure what build to go and you want something to fill with while you're like working it out, I can't think of a better option than this. The fact that, yeah, it like literally doesn't require any attributes is wild. It's no wonder the speedrunners are using this. Really cool to see it actually be relevant in a way that, yeah, the other weapons like the Stormcaller just never really were. And it's so funny that I actually, when recording this video, doing PvP, bumped into some other guy actually using it. So it goes to show you that people are starting to catch on. Now, while this video is more of an overview and PSA about this great weapon, and maybe you should consider using it, at very least on a new build, I do want to tell you a couple things that are very good to use with it. So obviously you have the Shard of Alexander that's going to greatly boost the attack power of your Ashes of War. To get that, you need to complete the Alexander storyline. It is at the very end when he challenges you to a duel where when you defeat him, he will give you the shard. But more importantly for the build, you're going to want the Axe Talisman as well as the Spiked Cracked Tear, which is going to boost your charged attack power. And what's awesome about that is you can get them really early and they're right next to each other. Here where I've marked in East Limgrave. One is in the middle of the Mistwood ruins here. You go into the cellar and it's just in a chest free to pick up. And then another just out in the open. From the Minor Erd tree, you can get the Cracked Tear. So you can get both of those very easy, and they're going to make your heavy attack really good. For now though, that's been the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this or learned something, please drop a like so we can keep making more. Until next time though, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.